That's right, today we're going to take a closer look at projectile motion. Now you've already seen some of this, like a ball being dropped from rest off of the side of a building, or even something being thrown straight up in the air and it comes straight back down. Now what do these two things have in common? So now that we've taken a look at things falling straight down, let's take a look at things being shot through the air. This kind of motion is known as projectile motion. There are some very special things about projectile motion. The first thing is that gravity only pulls objects down. So what that means to us is that the velocity in the x direction is constant. That's right. Velocity in the x direction is constant even as our ball falls to the ground. And even though our ball is moving both in the x direction and in the y direction, we want to look at just one at a time. So let's start with just motion in the x direction. So now that we know that Vx is constant, in the x direction there is no acceleration. So what this means is that we're only left with one kinematic equation, and that is displacement in the x direction is equal to the initial velocity in the x direction times time. That's it. That's the only equation we use. Now, in the y direction, we already know acceleration. So once the projectile is released or rolls off the side of the cliff or shot in the air, after that, it's just falling. So now we just need to put it all together. In the x direction, our velocity is constant at 115 meters per second. So the distance that we travel in the x is just 115 meters per second times the time that the object's in the air. Now where do we find the time? Well, all we need to find is how long it takes for that object to fall. So if you know the height and you know the initial velocity, you know the acceleration, and you find the time.